Hello, Bart with the Bicycle Rider YouTube, and today we are going to be checking out one of Specialized e-assist bicycles, one they offer that I think is really cool, and this is the Como. This happens to be the Como 5.0 with a 650B wheel, and made it to the 650B wheel is the Nimbus 2.3 inch wide tire with a reflective strip. And I just think that's a very important piece of this bike, just because it rides so good because of this tire. You notice there's no front suspension on this bike, and if you ask me, it's not really needed when you have a tire of this size, because you can air down this tire or air up this tire depending on what kind of terrain you're riding on. But I have noticed, and I ride a Specialized Roll, which is kind of a really cool, comfortable cruising bike. And it has the same tire on it, and I do ride over some rough terrain here in Biloxi, Mississippi, and up and over the Ocean Springs Bridge where there's a lot of expansion joints. And this tire just really seems to smooth out all those imperfections in the road without the complexity of suspension. So, anytime you add complexity, you can also add maintenance. This is a pretty low maintenance e-bike. And they, of course, being Specialized, they have built this thing rock solid. It's all, the battery's integrated, the motor's integrated, and there's just a lot of pluses to the way this bike is built. But this is the 1.3 motor in this machine, with a 604 watt-hour battery. So, that two combinations equals very powerful, very torquey, very fast, very capable, and a long run time. People ask, well, what is the mileage you get off of this bike? Now, I'm going to say, about 50 miles, and that's with you, assisting the motor. I think a lot of it depends on how hilly your terrain is, how heavy you are, how much you're carrying, and how much input you're putting into the motor. So I can ride this bike over 50 miles without a problem on one battery charge up and down the beach. I'm pretty light, and I don't carry a lot with me most of the time. But what is nice about carrying it, and with this particular model, you get this really cool, what they call kind of a pizza rack out front. They've got a bag, several different bags you can mount on this. I mean, you can mount a duffel bag with bungee cords or a crate, or you can put a lot on this. Here in Biloxi, we live on the beach, so it's nice when you can bring a beach towel, a cooler, whatnot, all right up front. And I do like having a rack up front, because you can keep an eye on your cargo. Sometimes if it's out back and you forget to close a zipper or something, you can have something bounce out and you don't even know it. I do like it right out front, and the way this bike handles with the weight is very nice. It's not very cumbersome at all. They've really put body geometry incorporated into this bike, so it's very comfortable. I touched base on the cup saddle, but the cup just cups your butt. You can ride this bike without spandex. You can ride this bike all day and be comfortable. Hand grips, ergonomically designed, the swept back bar. This is just a very cool bike. It just cruises, but yet, with a motor assist, you can really use this as a utilitarian type of vehicle as well. Now this one is kind of an upgraded model, so they have put a very nice gear system and brake system. It's Shimano XT brakes. People that know, Shimano know, XT is a level that doesn't compromise at all in quality, function, or fit. The XT just works great. These brakes stop very good. They're known for their rock solid reliability. Mountain bikers like myself, I go to XT when things go wrong with my bike. I upgrade with XT, and I'm done with it from there. And they have put an SLX 11-speed gear system on this bike. A lot of bikes don't really need that big of a gear system or that nice of a gear system, because a lot of these e-bikes, if your battery dies, you're pretty much in the woods anyway. You can't hardly pedal these bikes. Now, with the way Specialized has designed their motor and their drive system, you can pedal this bike without a battery. Very good. And with the SLX gear system on it, it's once again uncompromised in its shifting, uncompromised in its reliability and its function. It's a great gear system. I use it on my mountain bikes. So, they have spec'd this bike out with some very high quality components, and they've done it at a price that's $4,150. So, it's not an inexpensive e-bike, but it is very quality e-bike, something that I can sell to a customer or a friend, and I know that the components aren't going to fail. It's rock solid, and it's super fun. Specialized Como, step through, low entry, and I can't say enough good about how you know, this bike functions as a low entry. It's not a girl's bike anymore. It's not a boy's bike. It's a bike that you know, if you're looking to get into your fitness again, you can easily get on and off. Compared to, let me just bring this bike over real quick, and then I'm going to weigh this bike so you guys can see how much it weighs. And here on the Bicycle Rider, you know, if you do like our content, just hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it, and it lets YouTube know you guys are watching us. But this is a Como as well. This is not the low entry, so you do have to pick up your knee quite a bit to get on this bike, which, you know, for some people is not a problem. For others it is. You know, some people haven't exercised for a while, so they might not be as nimble, and they're worried about being on a girl's bike. And just know that this is a very masculine looking bike, and you know, it's just easy to get on and off. I'm going to do my best at weighing this bike, but let me just show you, you know, I can pick up this bike pretty easy, you know, when I'm using two hands. But when I'm going to try to attempt to do this on a scale, it might not look quite as easy. But let me get a weight on this bike for you, at least the best I can. Gary, I might have to ask you to see how much that weighs. I'm going to say. Oh, it's got an error. We weighed it earlier and it was right about 50. Let me try this again. Okay, so I've got the scale zeroed out. Well, we got two errors. Gary will post the weight up later, so we don't have to bore you guys with trying to pick up this thing. But we weighed it earlier. I think it was about 52 pounds. So anyway, maybe third time is the charm here. All right, we'll go with that. Integrated light, front and rear. Just a super nice bike. You know, if you're looking for uncompromised quality, a fun ride, and a rock solid bike, check out the Como 5.0 with the 650B wheel. It's a super awesome e-assist bike. Thank you.